I went to a lot of musical concerts when I was a teenager. I went to see Cheap Trick like 3 or 4 times. I saw David Bowie, the group The Tubes. I saw Peter Gabriel.
I can think and I'm feeling fine.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. And I have literally been doing this like 14 times trying to start this. And literally every time I start, something happens. Like on the 13th time that I'd finally gotten it, it was going good. And then I had to stop because at that moment the cat wandered in, of course. It's been that kind of day. It is a gray and diffuse day. It's supposed to be cooler today than it has been for the past couple. That's definitely a good thing. It's been kind of nice at night. It hasn't been as warm. In fact, I've had my fans on low, not even blowing on me, and I've still woke up in the morning time really cold, almost freezing. So definitely a thumbs up on that. Hopefully your days have been good. That would be definitely a thumbs up. And of course, front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like if you like what you hear and see, that would be cool. If you like what you hear and see, and well, if you haven't subscribed, if you could do that. If you could leave me a comment, that would be double plus good. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these literally beautiful and literally awesome people who are indeed literally beautiful and literally awesome. Without these people's help, I and my pets, my little hamster, my kitty cat, we would all be hosed like Christmas monkeys, and trust me, that is no way to be hosed. Without these people, we would be in very, very bad shape. So if you'd like to help me out, there are links to the Patreon in the show more. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there are also links to a PayPal. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, there's an Amazon wishlist link. And of course, I also have a post office box where you can send me anything from keychains, postcards, or anything you would like, and I will show off everything that arrives on camera. Yay! Definitely a thumbs up. Front loading of videos over. Hokey smokes. Yeah, so I didn't do much yesterday. Part of it was executive dysfunction. Part of it what I did yesterday, and part of it just how my evening ended. Because I recorded yesterday, and then I had a lot of executive dysfunction from about 10 o'clock till about noon. I couldn't do anything. I sort of watched videos, but not a whole lot, and not even a whole lot of that. So it was joyous then. So then I edited, and that was good. And then I had been trying to talk myself out of this all day because I needed to have the paperwork for my charity care thing for the hospital, and they needed more paperwork. And so I was trying to find ways to not do it because it was kind of warm yesterday, but I didn't. And so I went and walked from 2:30 approximately. I left, had to go over to my credit union, get a printout, had to walk up to the hospital records accounting business office, hand it over to them, continued going up there because I was almost at Walmart, went to Walmart, picked up a bunch of stuff for myself and the pets, and then walked all the way back. By this time it was about 5 o'clock. And then I played around up here for some time, was going to start playing for the last couple hours of the evening some D100 Dungeon. But when I went downstairs, instead, I and my roommates, we took some very high quality, for me, relative to the stuff I usually have, some THC concentrate dabs, got really stoned, and watched the highlights of the 25th anniversary South Park concert that they'd had in Colorado. And that was pretty cool. It was nice to watch. It was very, very nice. But by that time, it was just about midnight. So I didn't get much of anything done at all yesterday. Oh boy. So life is life. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. You have to exist. And the fact that I got out and had to do all that stuff and got it done with just me and no level of support, that's definitely a win. Because that, barring if they need anything else, I've gotten that thing done. And it took 2 trips out of the house to deal with other things to do it. I'm not agoraphobic. I don't feel anything like that, but I am socially awkward. I have withdrawn from people in society, and I have social anxiety, so going out and dealing with people is not always easy. I was mildly worried about going into Walmart during a busy part of the day, because by the time I got there it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock. And there are a lot of people there, and I'd been having those anxieties, and then I had the public mid-tier anxiety meltdown in public that was, oh my god, for hours and hours and hours. So that was fun, and I was mildly worried that maybe something would happen, but I just kept my eyes down to minimize the amount of visual overload and tried to ignore as much as I could hear so that I wouldn't be overloading on sound, and got through it. In fact, it wasn't pleasant. You know, I was around a lot of people, but it wasn't horrific. Depending on the situation, it can be bad. I mean, there was a time I almost ran out of one of the malls in Olympia here. Well, I'm not in Olympia here, but we had gone to Olympia and we were in one of the malls there, and there were so many people, I was almost running by the time I got out of there. Ugh. Just too many people, too many crowds. I can't handle that sort of thing. I could when I was younger. I mean, holy smokes, I went to a lot of musical concerts when I was a teenager. I went to see Cheap Trick like 3 or 4 times. I saw David Bowie, the group The Tubes. I saw Peter Gabriel. And these are all older groups, of course. If you've heard of The Tubes, I'd be amazed. If you heard of Peter Gabriel, then, you are a music aficionado. And if you know of David Bowie, I mean, just about everybody does, even though he died. So, I've seen all them, and that's a very good thing. Hokey smokes. And yeah, I've been in huge crowds back then, but now just even a busy Walmart. But then, things either get better or they get worse or they stay the same. I mean, I used to be terribly arachnophobic. Now I'm not. I wasn't so bothered by some of my conditions when I was younger. Now they are worse, yes I am. So things change, things stay the same. Homogeneity, gotta love that. I tried my best to think about various things while I was out on walkies. I did some thinking about the various settings that I have and the characters that I have. So I've done some of that, and I'd like to talk about that in a bit, because one of the things I did semi-recently when I was taking Ritalin, and I had to quit last March, so it was about a year ago, hokey smokes, I finished the game Dead Island, which was really cool that I was able to do that. I really loved it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it holds up graphically and in fun and everything that you do. Sure, there's glitches, there's weird stuff that happens. I mean, in a lot of cases, there's a big bruiser zombie, but it would glitch out and stand up in the air on top of objects instead of down on the ground where it should have been. And I avoided some of the fights when they were inside because it would be up here, and then of course because it was halfway through the geometry, it would blip it upward onto the floor above. So I wouldn't even have to fight the thing. It would just vanish into the map above me. So there's jank. But I was watching another video from this guy who goes through and does various things like, is this good? And replays these things. And he went back because he played it on the 360 when he was younger, and he was playing it on PC now. And he just loved it. He thought it was going to be just horrific. But even the jank is endearing. So if you can, on console or on PC, the game Dead Island is worth it. Now, Riptide I've heard is bad, and I've played some of Riptide, so I can't tell you if it's good, bad, or indifferent. And I really need to play Dying Light. I've played some of it, but with my ADHD, I play things for a while, jump to something else, and then I forget what I was doing. And so rather than just relearn, I just don't replay. Life is life, though. We do what we can. And then, of course, when I got home and then watched the show. I remember watching South Park when I was younger. Way back when I saw the first thing that they made the show from that was being, viralized on what was the internet back then. Everybody saw this pre-South Park thing of Jesus fighting Santa Claus. And that was cool. And the 25 years later, here they are playing at the amphitheater in Colorado. It's a huge outdoor space that's a natural thing in the rocks, and there's seats. You can seat several thousand people, and they were projecting stuff on the rock walls, and it was really cool. And it's like, how could you have thought 25 years ago that you would end up on television and in a concert singing horrific songs to thousands of people who were singing along with you, because they were, on the whole, pretty nasty, horrific songs. Funny, but horrific. And they even had the original group Primus, who had done the theme song way back when, and then there was the group Ween, which I guess is like 2 people, but it's amazing how old everyone is. It's amazing how old everyone is. I remember being young and when everyone else was young, and now the people that are in the group Ween, that I really love that album, and they did a great job singing and stuff. I mean, they're my age and older. So, oh boy. So past that, did not get a whole lot done, and tried my best to think about what I could for creative things while I was walking in the heat to get up and pay for my, pick up the paperwork so that my charity care could get done, and then also pick up stuff at Walmart. Not a whole lot of things, but you need things to live. Yay. So past that, just surviving. So let me take a look on my list here and we will see what I've got. Oh, yes. I'm going to talk about this one before the creative thing. I don't know if you've ever had a coughing jag where you'll feel like you're going to puke because you're coughing. One of the things that can happen, especially when you're taking THC concentrate dabs, is you may cough so hard you could end up puking. Because your lungs don't like getting junk in them. They just like pure, not oxygen, but gases. Any solids are unpleasant. Any vapors are unpleasant. Any, especially hot oil vapors, are kind of unpleasant. Shucks, even just smoking flower when I'm out walking, I can take a drag off of a pre-roll and then cough up a huge wad of junk from down here in my lungs. And it's like, well, not the actual lungs themselves, the large bronchi and all that. But when you're coughing up a huge wad of mucus, it's like, holy smokes, I'm amazed I'm not getting everything blocked off. But yeah, you take a concentrate hit and you can start coughing so hard that you will be fighting puking with each coughing jag. I had some of that last night, which is also, since I have dentures, made worse because sometimes just walking around and doing things, the pressure of my denture plate on the roof of my mouth toward the back will already make me feel somewhat nauseated because it's pressuring the very, very edge of my gag reflex. So that's always fun. Add concentrates to that, and yeah, it was joyous. I was very, very pleasantly stoned though. It was very, very good. Definitely a thumbs up on that. You just have to get through the coughing part. Past that, I was just thinking while I was walking as best as I could. So the things that I have, like especially here, one of the characters that I was thinking of in situations that I was thinking of to try and explain with this one person, I've been envisioning, like, let's say there's another character, a person who lives on the razor's edge. Business person ends up doing things, a lot of traveling. Because they're from the razor's edge of the inside, they automatically have the sight. They use glamours and all that. They can They can travel at will out here to the outside using glamours traveling through the door into the Brookerton, South Carolina area. This person on business ends up spending about 3 months out of the year out here on the outside. While he was here, younger, there was enough exposure to something that this business person's extra universal chromosomes expressed, and their vision opened up, their cryptid vision, their third eye opened, their vision cleared, and they began to see the world as it really is. So they're one of the very few people that sees what we see, can travel to the razor's edge and see all that stuff you need the sight for, and has the ability to interact with the cryptid stuff. Not many people can, because it's only like 2 or 3% of people with the sight and 2 or 3% of the people with vision. But since he already had the sight, since he lived in the razor's edge, now he's hanging around in cryptid stuff. And I figure this person would probably end up hanging around a lot in this Pol Pot Park with Pol Pot Manor, where a lot of the more very negative cryptids hang out, because this is where King Mike, the ghoul that runs Pol Pot Park, and it has tamed the entity under the mansion that's there. But they wonder, and asking him while they're playing poker one night, so they're all sort of just drinking and having fun, but they say, it's like, why, how come you hang around here? Why don't you be with the other humans? Because very few humans hang around out here in Pol Pot Park. Most of them, like the other light cryptids, avoid this place like the plague. And his answer would be something along the lines of, yeah, but where I was raised and born in Tonasket, in the beautiful Tonasket Valley, the top 10 reasons for death, one of them that's always there is being eaten. Sometimes in a bad year, it's in the top 5. Sometimes in a really bad times, being eaten is in the top 3 reasons for death. Where in Tonasket and Tonasket Valley and all of the razor's edge. Hanging around in Pol Pot Park? Well, he's a descendant of thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies. So the risk of hanging around in Pol Pot Park, well, that's pleasant. And since this fellow is aware that all of these beings around him are incredibly dangerous, and it's really only custom, because people with the vision are treated like pampered pets and not cattle to be eaten by cryptids as a matter of custom. And this fellow is aware that it's only custom largely keeping him alive in this setting. And he's also fully aware that as these very dangerous creatures are, they will at times demand respect and deserve respect. And when they demand and deserve, he's more than willing to give the respect demanded and deserved. Well, because partly where he lives, that's incredibly dangerous, and you respect the dangerous, and partly too, if he doesn't, he knows he's going to end up in somebody's belly. So where he lives and where he comes from and what he does, hanging around with the dangerous cryptids with a serious risk of being eaten alive, this is home. This feels like Tuesday, back where he lives. So yeah, he hangs around in Pol Pot Park with the very, very negative cryptids. So I'm trying to work on this person's character as well. Definitely a thumbs up on that. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count in American Sign Language, well, we have the Horror Files. Always good to see you in the comments. And Insignificant Nick, I can speak English today. Good to see you in the comments as well. We have Cropolis, thumbs up. There is JAYY. I sure hope you watch Roger Rabbit. That is an excellent film. There is Big Booty Patrick, the best kind of Patrick, and thumbs up. There is Jesse Koskinen. Always good to see you in the comments. And oh my God, I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It is amazing. There is Yamil, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. Adrian FNTES, I sure hope you enjoyed watching the Dark Messiah of Might and Magic videos that I had. There is Loveless One. Yeah, anxiety blows, but thank you very, very much. And Ben B, greatly appreciated and good to see you. We have Lily Eller, thumbs up and thank you. Loco5, who's actually the one that talked about it, and not Adrian. I'm intelligent. Thank you very much, and good to see you in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed the Dark Messiah Might and Magic videos as well. And that is it. We have 12 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people, if only for a short time, and if only in text. Thumbs up and thank you. And of course, thumbs up and thank you if you've watched this video this far. Nobody forces you to do so, and the huge majority of people for every video, for every creator, drops off after the 1 to 3 minute period. So if you've watched this far, thumbs up and thank you so very much. So I'm going to try and get some stuff done today, but if I can't, I'm not going to beat myself up. If you would like to get some stuff done and you can't, don't beat yourself up. It's not going to help you do it better next time. It's just going to hurt yourself. And of course, with the diseases and pandemics, please take appropriate precautions for your situation. You don't need to get sick. You don't need to make other people sick. Oi. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.